Good day, each and everyone. I am Rian Joshua B. Valdez from the College of Criminal Justice Education, and today I will be discussing the Module 7 entitled Drug Education and Vice Control. And here in our discussion, malalaman natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng drug. Kasi karamihan sa atin, when we heard the word drug, we always assume that that someone is referring or talking to illegal, illicit, or prohibited drugs. Kaya most of the time, nami-misinterpret natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng drugs. And here in our discussion, we will discuss the different categories, classification, the methods of administering the drugs, and the effect of drugs in not only in our body but also from the place that we live. Let me define first what is drugs. Drugs is a substance used as a medicine or in making medicines which affect the body and mind and have potential to abuse. Without an advice or prescription from a physician, drugs can be harmful. So when we say drugs, it is anything that can be used as medicine or ito yung mga ginagamit natin para malunasan yung mga sakit na ating nararamdaman sa ating katawan. And ito yung mga ginagamit natin para makapag-produce ng medicine. Drug can have a good effect or therapeutic effect or ito yung mga gamot na pwedeng makatulong sa atin kung may problema tayo or meron tayong sakit na nararamdaman. And drug can also have a bad effect depending on the volume, category, or composition of the drugs that we intake. Yan, so that is drugs. Two forms of drugs according to the origin. We have the natural drugs. Natural drugs are those natural plants, leaves, flowering tops, resin, hashish, opium, and marijuana. So when we say natural drugs, ito yung drugs na kung saan hindi pa dumadaan sa isang proseso. Ito yung mismong halaman. Like for example, yung marijuana, opium, and yung mga herbal plants natin. And the other forms of drugs according to the origin is the synthetic or artificial drug. Synthetic or artificial drugs are those produced by clandestine laboratories, which include those drugs that are controlled by law because they are used in the medical practice. So when we say synthetic or artificial drug, heto na yung mga gamot na dumaan na sa isang proseso. Heto na yung mga gamot na nabibili nyo doon sa isang pharmacy. So yan yung synthetic or artificial drug. Categories of drugs. We have the herbal drugs. Herbal drugs are plant substances that have drug effect whose use is not generally regulated by law. So when we say herbal drugs, heto yung mga halaman natin na pwedeng makagamot at hindi siya pinagbabawal ng batas natin. So yan yung herbal drugs. Next category of drugs, we have the prescriptive drugs. These are drugs requiring written authorization from a doctor to allow a purchase. Yan. So when we say prescriptive drugs, ito yung mga gamot na kailangan pa ng reseta ng doktor para ikaw ay makabili. Then number 3, the over-the-counter drugs or OTC. The OTC are non-prescriptive medicine which may be purchased from any pharmacy or drugstore without written authorization from a doctor. Yan. So when we say over-the-counter drugs, ito yung mga gamot na hindi na kailangan ng reseta at para bumili. Yan yung over-the-counter drugs. Like for example, yung mga biogesic natin, Bioflu, Mefenamic. Yan yung example ng over-the-counter drugs. Unrecognized drugs are commercial products that have a psychoactive drug effect but are not usually considered drugs. These substances are not generally regulated by law. Yan. So when we say unrecognized drugs, ito yung mga produktong nabibili natin kung saan may effect siya like sa drugs, and actually hindi siya kinukonsider as drugs, and hindi rin siya ipinagbabawal ng batas natin. 5. Illicit drugs. Drugs whose sale, purchase, or use is generally prohibited by law, or heto yung mga gamot natin na na hindi pwedeng ibenta, ipagbili, or gamitin kasi ito'y pinagbabawal ng ating batas, specifically under the provision of RA 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Number 6, tobacco. It is not generally considered a drug, but it holds distinct position in terms of usage patterns, economic importance, and health consequences that it merits a category of drugs. Yan. So, actually, hindi naman drugs. Usually, hindi drugs yung tobacco. Nakadepende na lang ito kung papaano ginagamit. Kung papaano ginagamit and kung ano yung kahalagahan ng tobacco. And kung ano yung magiging consequences or ano yung pwede mong makuha or ano yung magiging bunga nito sa paggamit ng tobacco. Number 7, alcohol, an unrecognized drug, one of the most widely used drugs in our society. Most commonly abused drug in our society. So, ang alcohol, isa rin siyang type ng unrecognized drug na kung saan heto yung karaniwang na-abuse. Bakit kaya? Kasi mas mura siya kung ikukumpara sa ibang drugs. Like for example sa shabu, sa cocaine. And mas kaya siyang i-afford ng mga tao kaya siya na-abuse. And nabibili mo lang siya sa mga tindahan kahit saan, and hindi siya ipinagbabawal ng ating batas. And let me go now to the method of drug administration. So, paano ba natin ginagamit or ano yung tamang paggamit ng drugs? First method of administering drugs, we have the oral ingestion or through oral ingestion. This is the safest, most convenient, and economical route whenever possible. And so, sa oral ingestion, ito yung pinakamadali and pinakaligtas na pag-administer or pag-take ng drugs or yung gamot natin. Injection or intravenous. This form of drug administration offers a faster response than the oral method. Yan, so yung injection and intravenous mas mabilis siya kung ikukumpara dun sa oral ingestion. Bakit? Kasi sa oral ingestion, kailangan mo pang tunawin yung drugs para magkaroon ng response yung katawan natin, pero yung gamot. Pero kapag injection or intravenous, direct na siya sa mga ugat natin, and mas mabilis kapag kapag direct yung gamot sa mga ugat natin or in-administer mo siya sa mga ugat natin. Inhalation, the route makes use of gaseous and volatile drugs which are inhaled and absorbed rapidly through the mucus of the respiratory. Chasing the dragon, smoking, snorting, sniffing. So yan yung mga example ng inhalation. Yung paghit-hit ng drugs in gaseous and volatile form. Yan. So, chasing the dragon. Ito yung paghit-hit. Yung bang merong isang foil, tapos sinisindihan dun sa baba, tapos hinihit-hit yung usok dun sa foil. Yan. Smoking, snorting, yung hinihit-hit mo yung mismong powder ng drugs. Sniffing. Yan, so yan yung inhalation. Topical, this refers to the application of drugs directly to the body's sites such as the skin and the mucous membrane. So, topical, yan yung pag-apply, yung pamamaraan na kung saan pinapahid mo yung drug sa skin mo or sa balat mo. Yan, sa balat mo. And when we say mucous membrane, it includes the eyes, the trachea, the lungs, the intestine, and others. So, dyan ina-apply yung drugs when we say topical, either sa skin and mucous membrane. So, phoresis, the introduction of drug into the deeper layers of the skin by the use of special type of eclectic current for local effect. So, sa iontophoresis, yung pamamaraan dito is kailangan natin gumamit ng instrumentation, special type of instrumentation na through the current of this instrumentation, ini-introduce yung drugs or yung gamot doon sa pinaka-ilalim ng skin natin. So, yan yung iontophoresis. Next, snorting, inhalation through the nose of drugs not in gaseous form. So, ito yung pagsisinghot. Yan, pagsisinghot na ng isang drugs. Yan, pagsinghot ng drugs. Yan yung example ng snorting. Pero, take note the word not in gaseous form. So, powder yung sinisinghot niya. Hindi katulad dun sa chasing of the dragon kasi usok yung sinisinghot mo kapag chasing of the dragon. Vocal, placing the drug in the vocal cavity just under the lips. Yan, so, yan yung pamamaraan natin sa pag-administer ng drug na kung saan yung drug or yung gamot is nilalagay natin in between of the gum and the lips. Yan, in between ng gum and yung lips. Vocal. Suppositories administered through the vagina or rectum. Yan, so ito yung pamamaraan na kung saan merong isang gamot na nilalagay dun sa dun sa maselang bahagi ng babae o kaya naman dun sa puwetan. Pero in solid form pero yun. Solid form pero yung inilalagay doon. Tapos kapag nalagay na dun sa loob, dun na natutunaw. Dun na natutunaw yung suppositories or yung gamot. Medical uses of drugs. The first one is analgesic. Analgesic are drugs that relieve pain. So, heto yung mga gamot na kayang maibsan or pwedeng umibsan sa mga sakit na ating nararamdaman sa ating katawan. Antibiotics are drugs that combat or control infections, organism, or heto yung mga ginagamit natin na gamot para hindi lumala yung yung sugat natin. Yan, yung sugat natin. And para makaiwas tayo sa anumang mga infection. Antipyretic, those that can lower body temperature or fever due to infection. So, yung antipyretic, ito yung mga gamot na kayang pababain yung temperatura sa ating katawan, lalo na sa mga taong nilalagnat. Antihistamine, those that control or combat allergic reaction. So, ito yung gamot na pwedeng makatulong sa atin kung meron tayong mga allergies or may mga pagkakataon na nakaranas tayo ng allergies. Yan. Contraceptives, drugs that prevent the meeting of the egg cell and sperm cell or prevent the ovary from releasing egg cell. So, ito yung gamot na kung saan ginagamit para ang isang tao hindi magbuntis. Yan. Like for example, yung pills. Congestant, those that relieve congestion of the nasal passage. So, ito yung ginagamit natin na gamot para matanggal kung ano yung mga barado sa ating ilong. Yan, barado sa ating ilong. Expectorants, those that can ease the expulsion of mucus and phlegm from the lungs in the throat. So, when you say expectorant, ito yung mga gamot na ginagamit natin para mailabas yung plema dun sa lungs natin. Yan. So, expectorant. Laxative, those that stimulate defecation and encourage bowel movement. Or ito yung drugs or gamot para sa pagtatae. Sedatives and tranquilizers are those that can calm and quiet the nerves and relieve anxiety without causing depression and clouding of the mild sedative and tranquilizer. So ito yung mga drugs na ginagamit natin para pakalmahin. Yan, pakalmahin yung nerves ng isang tao. Yan, ng isang tao and yung pagkakabalisa niya. Yan. Vitamins, those substances necessary for normal growth and development and proper functioning of the body. So, ito yung drugs na kinakailangan natin para magkaroon tayo ng normal na pagtangkad, ng development, and para mag-function ng maayos yung mga organs ng ating katawan. Yan, vitamins. So let we go now to the three classifications of psychoactive drugs. We have the depressants or the downers, stimulants or the uppers, hallucinogen or psychedelics, or the all-rounders. So the first classification of psychoactive drugs, we have the depressants. Depressants are drugs that affect the central nervous system, causing the system to relax. So, heto yung mga gamot na kung saan kapag isang tao gumamit ng depressants, ito'y kanyang napapakalma. Or heto yung mga gamot na nagpapakalma sa isang tao. Types of depressants, narcotics. Narcotics are drugs which relieve pain and produce profound sleep or stupor when introduced to the body. So, ang narcotics, pwede siyang makatulong para maibsan yung sakit sa ating pangangatawan. And pwede siyang makatulong para magkaroon tayo ng mahimbing na pagkakatulog. Or pwede siyang pampakalma. Opium derived from a poppy plant. So, nagmula or nanggaling ang opium sa halaman, specifically sa poppy plant, and its scientific name is Papaver somniferum, popularly known as, or in its layman's term, it is the gamot, kalamay, or panocha. Morphine, most commonly used and best used opiate. So, heto yung karaniwang ginagamit, and heto yung pinaka magandang gamitin para pampakalma, and its layman's term is dreamer, ema, emcel, pulbos. Yan, so yan yung mga layman's term ng morphine. Heroin, it is 3 to 5 times powerful than morphine from it is derivative and most addicting opium derivative. So, ang heroin mas malakas ang tama or effect kung ikukumpara mo siya sa morphine. Yan. Dicetyl morphine, or in its layman's term, blanco, brown, sugar, kabayo, kingkoy, gamot, mansakaw, pulbos, sapsap, tinik. So that is heroin. Codeine, a derivative of morphine. So nagmula ang morphine sa codeine, commonly available in cough preparation. So ito yung ginagamit natin para sa ubo. Paregoric, a tincture of opium, or heto yung pampakulay sa isang opium in combination with camphor. So, hetong camphor na to, heto yung ginagamit natin para magkaroon ng aroma or amoy yung isang drugs. Demerol and methadone, common synthetic drugs with morphine-like effects. So, heto yung drugs na katulad din ng drugs na to yung effect ng morphine. Barbiturates are drugs used for inducing sleep in person plagued with anxiety, mental stress, and insomnia. So, itong barbiturates, ito yung pwedeng makatulong sa mga taong palaging nababalisa, sa mga taong may mental stress and hindi sila makatulog. Pwede mo siyang gamitin. And the layman's term for barbiturates is lili, bala, downers, yellow jackets, blue heavens. Seconal, commonly used among hospitality girls, or heto yung mga karaniwan na ginagamit ng mga prostitutes, seconal. Tranquilizer are that calm and relax and diminish anxiety, used in treating nervous disorder or calm psychotic patients or mental disorder without producing sleep. So, heto yung mga pangpakalma ng mga taong may sakit sa pag-iisip. Volatile solvent, gaseous substances popularly known to abusers as gas teardrops, volatile solvent, or yung rugby natin. Alcohol, the king of all drugs with potential for abuse. And the example for alcohol is beer, whiskey, gin, brandy. Yan, the king of all drugs. Bakit? Kasi heto yung most common na na-abuse na drugs kung ikukumpara dun sa ibang drugs natin. Bakit? Kasi heto yung mas mura and kayang ma-afford ng mga tao. And hindi rin siya ipinagbabawal ng ating batas. Kaya siya yung naging king of all drugs. Stimulants or uppers. Stimulants are drugs that affect the central nervous system, causing alertness. They curb hunger and make the user awake. So, heto yung mga gamot na nakakapagpabuhay, nagiging aktibo yung isang tao kapag nakakapag-take siya ng stimulants. And naiibsan yung kanyang gutom kapag nag-take ka, or naiibsan yung gutom mo kapag nag-take ka ng stimulants. So, effect of stimulants. So, ano ba yung magiging effect, or ano ba yung magiging sanhi sa mga taong nagtitake ng stimulants? The first one is feeling of being stronger. Feeling mo kapag nag-take ka ng stimulant, ang lakas-lakas mo, more decisive. Or sila yung mga taong hindi nag-aalinlangan na gawin yung isang bagay. Self-possessed, confident na gawin kung ano yung gusto nila. Extended wakefulness, or hindi sila makakatulog. And increased mental alertness, pagiging alisto. Magiging alisto ka, magiging active ka kapag nag-take ka ng stimulants. May include irritability. Yan lang. Pero kapag nag-take ka ng stimulants, magiging magagalitin ka. Magiging sensitive ka. Anxiety, palagi kang babalisa. And fear. Yan. So, ang dami mong kinakatakutan, or palagi kang natatakot kapag take ka ng stimulants. Loss of appetite resulting in decreased body weight. So, ang isang taong nagtitake ng stimulant, mawawalan siya ng gana na kumain. And ito yung yung dahilan niya, or ito yung magiging dahilan para bumaba yung kanyang kilo or yung kanyang timbang. Pregnant women who abuse shabu can cause mental retardation to their unborn babies. So, sa mga taong nagtitake ng shabu, especially sa mga nagbubuntis, kapag inabuse nila yung pag-shabu or paggagamit ng shabu, yan, so ang effect hindi sa kanila kundi sa mga sa batang ipinagbubuntis nila. Magiging slow yung development ng pag-iisip ng batang kanilang ipinagbubuntis. 7, loss of sexual desire and interest towards work. So, mawawala yung pagnanasa mo sexually and mawawala din yung interest mo sa iyong trabaho. Schizophrenia or split personality. Schizophrenia or in other term, dementia precox, leading to violent behavior. When we say schizophrenia, it is a mental disorder that characterize illusion and delusion. Yan, so ito yung sakit na kung saan ang isang tao nakakarinig ng isang sound or ingay, pero in reality wala naman. Nakakakita ng isang bagay, pero in reality wala naman. Or nakakakita ng isang event, pero in reality wala naman. Yan, so yan yung schizophrenia. Loss of memory by chronic user. So, ang taong nagtitake ng stimulants, isang effect, yan. So, isang effect ng pag-take ng stimulants is yung pagiging makakalimutin. Lalong-lalo na sa mga palagi ang gumagamit ng stimulants. Chronic snorter from irritation of the nose leading to frequent nose bleeding. So, sa pagsisinghot or yung palaging pagsisinghot ng drugs, pwedeng mag-cause siya ng pagdurugo sa kanyang ilong. Injecting shabu is using dirty needles can lead to various infections. So, ang pag-i-inject ng shabu, lalong-lalo na kapag yung ginagamit mong needle or karayom na ginagamit mo is hindi malinis, pwede siyang mag-cause ng infection and pwede siyang pwede siyang mag-cause ng sakit, specifically hepatitis B, blood poisoning, and AIDS. So, yan yung mga effect ng pagtitake ng stimulants. Next classification of psychoactive drugs, the hallucinogen or the psychedelics. When we say psychedelics, parang schizophrenia lang ito. Yan, na kung saan, sabi ko nga kanina, when we say schizophrenia, ano siya, yung isang tao nakakakita siya ng isang bagay or event pero in reality wala naman. And nakakarinig siya ng isang sound or ingay pero in reality wala naman. Parang sa psychedelics din to. Kaya lang sa schizophrenia kasi pwede mo siyang mamana. Pwedeng kahit hindi ka nag-take ng drugs, magkakaroon ka ng schizophrenia. Basta merong sa heredity nyo or sa heredity nyo is meron silang schizophrenia. Pero sa psychedelics, kailangan mag-take ng drugs. Kailangan mong mag-take ng drugs. Hallucinogen are drugs that affect the central nervous system, causing distortion of perception for time and space. They induce illusion, delusion, or hallucination. So, ang effect ng hallucinogen kapag nag-take ka, babaguhin nito or mag-iiba yung pananaw mo sa isang bagay. Yan, sa isang bagay. Yung tipong akala mo heaven, nasa heaven ka. Yung tipong akala mo lumilipad ka. Yan. So, mag-iiba yung pananaw mo sa isang bagay. Effects of hallucinogen. Number 1 is increased heartbeat and pulse rate. So, tataas or bibilis yung pagtibok ng puso mo and yung pulse rate mo or yung pulso mo. Elevated or increased blood pressure, tataas yung blood pressure mo. Increased activity of body due to the effect of the brain. Yan, so sa mga taong nagtitake ng hallucinogen, ang dami-dami nilang ginagawa. Kung mapapansin mo sa mga taong like for example sa mga taong nakapag-take ng marijuana, 'di ba? Iba-iba yung kanilang ginagawa. Enlarged or dilated pupils of the eye, yung pagkakaroon ng dilat na mata, increased body temperature or ipapataas or papataasin neto yung temperatura ng iyong katawan, paleness of the face, or pamumutla ng iyong mukha, ganun din sa iyong kutis. Next types of hallucinogens, we have the marijuana. It is the most commonly abused hallucinogen in the Philippines because it can be grown extensively in the country. So, heto yung karaniwang naaabuso na drug sa ating bansa. Bakit? Kasi kung saan-saan pwedeng tumubo yung marijuana. Pwede siyang tumubo kahit saan-saan yung marijuana. And the layman's term for marijuana is Mary Jane, flower, pampapogi, brown nines, damo, pot, tea, joint, or dope. LSD or D-lysergic acid diethylamide. It is a drugs that is most powerful of psychedelics obtained from ergot, a fungus on rye that attacks rye kernels. So, yung LSD, heto yung heto yung drugs heto yung hallucinogen na mas matinding effect kung ikukumpara sa mga ibang psychedelics or hallucinogens. And the layman's term for LSD is Lucy in the sky with diamonds, wedding bells, acid, white, sugar, lightning, cubes, brain eaters. Next one, peyote. It is derived from the surface part of the small gay brown cactus. So, nagmula ang peyote sa isang halaman, specifically sa isang cactus. Yan, diyan makukuha yung peyote sa surface part of the small gay brown cactus. Mescaline, it is the alkaloid hallucinogen extracted from the peyote cactus and can also be synthesized in the laboratory. Yan. So, ang mescaline, ito yung katas na pwede mong makuha kapag piniga mo yung peyote cactus. And pwede mo siyang i-process or gawing drugs. Yan, gawing drugs sa isang laboratorio. STP or the scientifically treated petroleum, or in other word, it is the langis. Yan, yung langis natin. It is a take-off on the motor oil additive. Yan, so ito yung idinadagdag natin para sa ating sasakyan para hindi siya umusok. STP. Psilocybin, the hallucinogenic alkaloid from the small Mexican mushroom, are used in Mexican Indians today. So sa psilocybin, ito yung karaniwang ginagamit na hallucinogenic alkaloid sa Mexico. Yan, Mexican Indians. And makukuha siya or it is derived from the Mexican mushroom. Yan. So psilocybin. Morning glory seeds, the black and brown seeds of the wild tropical morning glory that are used produced hallucinations. Actually, ang morning glory seeds, tumutubo rin siya dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya lang, ang nakakapagbigay or nakakapag-produce ng hallucination dito, yung plant na morning glory is yung seeds niya or yung buto niya. Yan, yung buto niya. The opium poppy plant. The opium poppy is scientifically known as Papaver somniferum. The word Papaver is derived from a Greek term which means poppy, while the word somniferum is a Latin term which means dream-induced sleep. So when we say opium poppy, it is a plant that induces sleep or dream. The plant can grow from 3 to 6 feet in height originally in Mesopotamia. So, makikita mo lang yung plant na to sa Mesopotamia. The coca bush plant is scientifically known as Erythrochelon coca, common in South America. The plant grows in mountainous and tropical climate areas on clay-like soil. A fully grown coca plant attains a height of 6 to 8 feet and can harvested 3 to 4 times in a year. So, napakabilis mo lang magparami ng coca bush plant. Kasi, annually, pwede kang mag-harvest ng 3 to 4 times. Yan. Cocaine is the drug can produce in this plant. So, the cocaine was derived also from the coca bush plant. The most powerful natural stimulant known as cocaine hydrochloride. So, the coca bush plant is the most powerful natural stimulant. Or heto yung pinaka may malakas na effect kung ikukumpara sa other stimulant. Yan, coca bush plant. Drug abuse. The term drug abuse most often refers to the use of drugs with such frequency that will cause physical or mental harm to the user or impair social function. The term drug is commonly associated with substances that may be purchased legally with prescription for medical use. So when we say drug abuse, it is the improper or wrongful use of drugs. Or heto yung paggamit ng drugs na hindi wasto or maling paggamit ng drugs. Yan, pang-aabuso. And ano ba yung effect kapag inaabuso natin or madalas tayong gumagamit ng drugs or mali yung paggamit natin? Pwedeng mag-cause siya ng physical or mental harm. Yan, pwede netong sirain yung physical aspect and mental aspect natin. What are the common signs of drug abuse? So, ano ba yung mga palatandaan or tanda na ang isang tao is mapang-abuso sa paggamit ng drug or gamot? The first one is change in attendance at work or school. So, isang tao kapag gumagamit or umaabuso siya sa sa drugs, pwedeng madalas na sa kanya yung pagliban sa kanyang trabaho o sa kanyang pag-aaral. Change from the normal capabilities or hindi na niya makaya or wala na siyang sapat na kakayahan na gawin kung ano yung mga ginagawa niya noon. Poor physical appearance including attention to dress and personal hygiene. So, kakulangan or meron na siyang pagkukulang regarding sa kanyang pananamit and sa kanyang kalusugan. Constant wearing of sunglasses at inappropriate times. So, pagsusuot ng sunglasses na wala sa oras or wala sa tamang pagkakataon. Unusual effort made to cover arms in order to hide needle marks. So, yan yung yung pinipilit mong itago kung ano yung mga needle marks. Ito yung pinipilit mong itago yung mga needle marks na nagiging dahilan sa pag-aabuso or pang-aabuso natin sa isang gamot. Association with known drug abusers. So, ito yung pakikipagsalamuha at pakikisama sa mga kakilala niyang tulak or sila yung mga kakilala niyang gumagamit ng drugs or sila yung mga nang aabuso sa paggamit ng droga. Stealing items that can be readily sold for cash. Ito yung pagnakaw. So kapag drug abuse ka na, prone ka na sa pagnanakaw ng mga gamit na hindi sa'yo na pwedeng ibenta. Pwedeng ibenta. Madali siyang maibenta. Change in mood, yan, papalit-palit kung ano yung mood mo. Depending on the drug taken, kung gaano karami or kung ano yung kategory na take mo. Concept of drug dependence. Drug abuse must be distinguished from drug dependence. Drug dependence, which called drug addiction. It is defined by 3 basic characteristics. The user continue to take a drug over an extended period of time. So, these are the characteristic of drug dependence. Yan, drug dependence. Para malaman lang natin kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng drug abuse sa drug dependence. Sa drug dependence, the user continue to take a drug over an extended period of time or parang patuloy-tuloy yung paggamit niya ng drug or pagtitake ng drugs. The user find it difficult to stop using the drug. They seem powerless to quit the drug use. So, ang isang drug dependent, mahirap na niyang tigilan mahirap na niyang tigilan yung pagtitake ng droga. Wala na siyang kakayahan na mag-quit or wala na siyang kakayahan na tigilan ang pagtitake ng droga. The user stop taking their drug only if their supply of the drug is cut off. Yan, so may stop or titigil lamang yung pagtitake ng droga sa drug dependence kung wala na siyang supply or wala na siyang mapagkukuhanan ng drug or wala na siyang mapagkukuhanan ng supply ng kanyang drug na kanyang tinitake. And kung meron siyang malaking dahilan para sumuko or tigilan itong pagtitake ng drug. And kapag tumigil ang isang taong drug dependent, siya'y magkakaroon or merong consequence or effect or parang withdrawal symptoms sa kanyang pagtigil. Yan. Ano ba yung effect? They will undergo painful physical or mental distress. Drug addiction or drug dependent. Drug addiction is a state of mind in which a person has lost the power of self-control in respect of a drug. He consumes the drug repeatedly, leaving aside all values of life. In other words, a drug addict will resort to crime even to satisfy his repeated craving for the drug. The effect of addiction are mainly deteriorative personality changes. So, drug addiction. So, drug addiction, heto na yung parang nagiging bisyo or patuloy-tuloy, paulit-ulit na lang yung paggamit niya ng droga. And para ma-sustain, para ma-supplyan yung satisfaction niya, ma-sustain yung satisfaction niya when it comes to taking of drugs, kailangan gagawa siya ng paraan kahit na ito'y krimen or kahit na ito'y labag sa batas. Characteristic of drug addict, one or more the following attributes characterize drug addiction. The first one is uncontrollable craving or yung hindi mo mapigilang magnasa or yung pag-aasam na mag-take ng drug. The addiction feels a compulsive craving to take drug repeatedly and tries to procure the same by any means. So, yun nga, hindi mo mapigilan na mag-asam, na mag-take ng drug ng paulit-ulit. And para ma-sustain yung bisyo mo, kailangan gagawa ka ng paraan. Tolerance, it is the tendency to increase the dose of the drug to produce the same effect as to that of the original effect. So, sa tolerance naman, ito yung pagdagdag. Yan, pagdagdag ng volume or yung dose na ginagamit mo sa pagtitake ng droga para lamang ma-reach yung nais mong effect. Yan, yung nais mong effect sa pagtitake ng drugs sa iyong sarili. Yan. Addiction, the addict is powerless to quit drug use. So, mahirap mo na siyang tigilan or hindi mo na siya kayang ma-stop. Physical dependence, the addict's physiological function is altered. The body becomes sick, inactive, incapable carrying out useful activity in the absence of the drug. So, hindi ka na makakapagtrabaho ng maayos kung hindi ka nakakapag-take ng drug. And kapag hindi ka nakakapag-take ng drug, the withdrawal syndrome will occur once the drug use is stopped. So, meron ng mga consequence or meron ng mangyayari sa iyong pangangatawan or meron ng effect. Yan. Meron ng effect physically sa iyong pangangatawan. Like for example, kapag paulit-ulit ka na or nagiging drug addict ka na, kapag tinigilan mo siya, pwede kang maglaway, kapag hindi ka nakakapag-take ng drugs, pwede kang magtae, pwede kang magsuka, yan. May hindi magandang effect na sa iyong kalusugan or sa iyong katawan kapag itinigil mo yung pagtitake or yung pagtitake ng drugs sa physical dependence. Psychological dependence, emotional mental discomfort exists to the individual. So, hindi magiging magaan yung pakiramdam mo kapag hindi ka nakakapag-take ng drugs. The drug addict feels he cannot do without the drug. So, yung feeling niya, kapag hindi siya nakakapag-take ng drug, feeling niya wala siyang magagawa. Yan, wala siyang magagawa na gawin yung isang bagay. Consequently, if he does not carry out his work efficiently or wala na siyang kakayahan na gawin yung kanyang ginagawa nung dati. Withdrawal syndrome, heto na yung mga effect. Heto na yung mga effect kapag itinigil mo yung pagtitake ng drug. Withdrawal syndrome. The addicts become nervous and restless when he does not get the drug. So, ang tao palaging kinakabahan and hindi siya makakapagpahinga ng maayos kapag hindi siya nakakapag-take ng drug. After about 12 hours, he starts sweating. His nose and eyes become watery and continue doing so increasingly for another 12 hours. It is followed by vomiting, diarrhea, loss of appetite and sleep, respiration, blood pressure, and body temperature. So, heto yung common na nagiging effect ng mga taong kapag itinigil niya yung pag-take ng drugs. Withdrawal syndrome. Effects to the family. So, ano ba yung magiging effect or epekto? Ano ba yung magiging dahilan? Ano ba yung magiging bunga ng sa iyong pamilya kapag may isang member na drug abuse o kaya naman nagtitake ng droga? The first one is intense feeling of humiliation and guilt are felt by family member. So yung mga family member mo, kapag may member na nagtitake ng droga sa family nyo, sa family member mo, mahihiya na sila, magkakaroon na sila ng hiya, yan, magkakaroon na sila ng hiya sa kanilang sarili. Self-esteem are generally low among the members of the family. So mawawala na yung self-confident ng mga family members mo. The spirit of togetherness or unity are broken. So wala nang pagkakaisa sa family nyo. Occurrence of domestic violence, may mga karahasan nang nangyayari sa family ninyo. Loss of money or valuable. Pagkawala ng or pagkakaroon ng problema specifically sa financial problem. Loss of unity among family member. So, parang sa number 3 din. Wala nang pagkakaisa sa family ninyo kapag may isang member na nagtitake ng drug sa family nyo. Effects to the community. Increase of petty crimes in the community. So, tataas yung rate or bilang ng mga krimeng nangyayari sa isang community. And when we say petty crimes, ito yung mga common na nakikita or nangyayari or nakukumit na crime sa isang community. Like for example, physical injuries, rape, hold-upping, bag snatching, stealing, akyat bahay gang, bukas kotse gang, and others. So, yan yung mga example ng mga petty crimes. Increase of drug dependent and drug pusher in the community. So, tataas yung bilang ng mga drug dependent and yung mga nagtutulak ng drug sa community ninyo. Fear of community resident to drug dependent, especially at night. Yan, so magkakaroon or mag-create ng fear, takot sa mga tao sa community ninyo kapag may mga taong drug dependent sa community na yan, lalong-lalo na kapag gabi. Kasi feeling nila baka sila'y mabiktima ng mga petty crimes na nagagawa ng mga taong drug dependent. Neighborhood association becomes inactive or maapektuhan yung pakikisalamuha at pakikipagkapwa-tao mo sa community mo or sa mga kapitbahay mo kapag ikaw ay nagtitake ng drugs or kapag may isang taong nagtitake ng drugs. Effects to the society. Effects to the society, ano ba yung mga effect or ano ba yung magiging bunga kapag may mga taong nagtitake ng drugs sa isang lipunan? Increase in heinous crime or antisocial crime. So, heto na yung paglobo or pagtaas ng bilang ng mga heinous crime or antisocial crimes. Yan yung mga, so when we say heinous crimes, heto na yung mga krimen na kasuklam-suklam. Yan, kasuklam-suklam or hindi mo siya usually nakikita sa isang community na nakukumit. Hindi katulad dun sa mga petty crimes natin. Or antisocial crimes. Heto yung mga gawain or heto yung mga gawain na hindi angkop or wala sa pamantayan ng isang lipunan. Increase of immorality and loss of moral fiber of the society. Like for example, prostitution, pedophilia. When we say pedophilia, heto yung pakikipagrelasyon or pakikipagtalik sa mga bata. Yan, sa mga bata. Child abuse. Increase of immorality or heto yung paglobo, paglaki, pagtaas ng bilang ng mga hindi magagandang gawain o hindi magagandang kilos doon sa isang lipunan. Downfall of social values of the country. So babagsak yung pagpapahalaga sa pakikipagkapwa-tao sa isang bansa or pakikisalamuha sa ibang kapwa sa isang bansa. Limited movement of people, especially at night, for fear of the drug dependent. So, magkakaroon or mag-create ng takot sa mga residente dun sa isang lipunan kapag may mga drug dependent. Yan, so, yan yung effects of drug, yan yung effect ng mga taong nagtitake ng drug dun sa isang lipunan. Next is the effect to the law enforcement. Number 1 is corruption of some law enforcement personnel. So diyan na nade-develop yung pagiging corrupt ng mga law enforcers natin kapag may mga taong nagtitake ng droga. Yan. Ineffective application and implementation of dangerous drug law. So hindi gaanong nai-implement or hindi gaanong naipapatupad yung dangerous drug law or the RA 9165, the otherwise known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Yan, so hindi gaanong naipapatupad yung batas na yon kapag yan yung effect sa law enforcement. Produces bad image and credibility to the police agency. So sa mga pulis kasi, 'di ba, may sinasabi tayong the fault of one is the fault of all. So kapag isang tao or may isang police officer na nagkamali, damay lahat. So kaya nga kapag may isang taong may isang law enforcer na corrupt, damay-damay na lahat. Masisira na ang buong image ng police law enforcement. Loss of trust, confidence, integrity among some police personnel. So hindi na mapagkakatiwalaan and sira na rin yung pangalan ng police personnel natin. Coddling of drug dependent by the police personnel. Yan, so parang pinapabayaan na lang ng mga police personnel yung mga drug dependent natin sa community. Yan. Reason why people turn to drugs. So ano ba yung reason? Ano ba yung dahilan kung bakit ang isang tao is nagda-drug? The first one is family problem. Lack of parental guidance, peer pressure, and curiosity. Yan, dahil sa influensya ng kanyang mga kaibigan. Boredom and frustration, dahil na rin siguro hindi niya na-attain yung nais niyang goal or yung kanyang layunin sa kanyang buhay. Weak personality, or madali lang siyang matukso, madali lang siyang ma-influensyahan na gawin ang isang bagay na to or yung mag-take ng drug, and hindi wala siyang kakayahan or gusto niyang makatakas kung ano yung nararanasan niya ngayon. Yan. So yan yung reason why people turn to drugs. What are some of the preventive measures for drug abuse? So ano ba yung mga paraan natin para maiwasan ng isang tao hindi maging drug abuse or hindi ka maging prone sa pagiging drug abuse? Drug abuse must be avoided from the start before problem set in. There are several basic ways to do this. Namely, the first one is improvement in family relation. The parents and children must communicate with each other and strengthen their ties to combat drug addiction. Or kailangan magkaroon ng intimate relationship between the parents and children para ma-combat or para malabanan yung drug addiction sa family. Yan, kailangan yung improve yung relationship ninyo ng magulang tapos yung anak. Direct and sincere action on the part of the government to address the growing problem of the drug abuse. Kailangan ng makatotohanan. Yan, kailangan ng makatotohanan na aksyon para sa para malabanan yung paglobo or pagtaas ng rate or bilang ng ng drug abuse sa isang lugar na to. Clear and noticeable reforms in the environment and economy to provide everyone a bright future and good life. So, kailangan nakikita, kailangan malinaw sa isang tao yung pagbabago yung pagbabago sa kanyang kinabukasan and sa kanyang buhay. Strict enforcement of drug laws against violator and traffickers. So, kailangan i-implement ng maayos, ng karapat-dapat, na ipapatupad ng maayos yung batas natin regarding sa drugs. Yan, so sa drugs natin. Complete crackdown against drug pusher and syndicate. So, kailangan mapababa or masugpo yung mga drug pusher or yung mga tulak natin and yung mga malalaking grupo na nagpapatakbo ng drugs. Yan, instituting heavy penalties, specifically the death penalty or drug-related crime and serious drug violator. So, para ma-avoid or para maiwasan natin yung drug problem or yung drug abuse sa isang community, kailangan magkaroon ng akmang kaparusahan. Yan, akmang kaparusahan sa kanilang nagawa or sa pag-drugs. Yan, sa pag-drugs. Smoking in the Philippines, the youth start smoking in the age of 7. At the age of 13, smoking becomes regular until the age of 15. So, at the age of 7, alam na or nasimulan na nung isang kabataan na manigarilyo, and at the age of 13, yan na, palagi na niyang ginagawa yung paninigarilyo or nagiging bisyo na niya yung paninigarilyo. 1 person every second or 1 million people yearly die because of smoking. So, ang daming namamatay sa paninigarilyo. Hindi lang yung taong naninigarilyo yung subject dito, kundi pati yung mga taong nakakalanghap or yung second-hand smoker natin. Smoking is the primary cause of illness in the heart, lungs, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, and others. This is also one cause of the attack of asthma. So, ang daming mga sakit na pwede mong makuha sa paninigarilyo. And heto yung mga sakit na to. Illness in the heart, illness in the lungs, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, and others. The cigarette composed of 14 chemicals that causes cancer. So, the smoke is composed of 4,000 chemicals that destroy our health and environment. The nicotine content of cigarette may cause addiction. So, sa cigarette, ang nicotine ang siyang nagiging reason kung ba't na-addict sa paninigarilyo ang isang tao. And the smoke of the cigar contains carbon monoxide which are comparable to the smoke from vehicle. So, sa cigarette, yung usok ng sigarilyo, maari siyang ikumpara sa usok ng isang sasakyan. Effects of smoking in our health. So, ano ba yung magiging epekto ng paninigarilyo sa ating kalusugan? The first one is smoking. Make us look ugly. So, kapag naninigarilyo tayo, hindi na magiging kaaya-aya yung yung itsura natin. Yan, yung itsura natin. It makes our skin shrink or liliit. Liliit yung skin mo. It causes bad breath. Yan, so nakakapagbigay ito ng bad breath or yung hindi magandang amoy ng ating bibig. It causes impotency. Yan, so hindi ka na pwedeng magkapamilya kapag hindi ka na magkakaroon ng anak kapag impotent ka. Yan, impotent ka. And isa siyang effect ng paninigarilyo, yung pagiging impotent. This usually causes heart attack and stroke. So ano ba yung mga bunga ng paninigarilyo? This usually causes heart attack and stroke, high blood pressure, thickening of blood, cancer in the lungs, lips, throat, ovary, and urethra, low birth weight, and birth defect of child in the womb, cataract, and blindness. So napakaraming sakit yung pwede mong makuha sa paninigarilyo. What to do? So ano ba yung mga preventive measures natin para maiwasan yung paninigarilyo? The first one is don't start smoking. So unang-una pa lang, wag ka nang mag-attempt. Yan, mag-attempt na manigarilyo. If you are smoking, stop at once. Ask for help and support with your family for your decision to quit smoking. Don't enter a room with somebody who is smoking. Yan, so mai-influensyahan ka lang kapag pupunta ka sa isang lugar na may naninigarilyo. Matetempt ka lang, matutukso ka lang na manigarilyo kapag pupunta ka dun sa lugar na may naninigarilyo. If you can quit smoking, consult smoking cessation clinics. Ayan, so salamat sa pakikinig and I guess marami kayong napakinggan and nalaman sa discussion na to.